Hey y'all, so we have a problem. We have this boat in the water and the lower unit is, the clutch dog is going in it. So instead of pulling the boat out, we are gonna clean this lower unit off because it's filthy. And we're gonna rip it off here and we're gonna swap out lower units in the water. So today we're gonna show you how to swap out a lower unit in the water on a Yamaha 2006 225 4-stroke. All right, y'all, so we're gonna take off this lower unit on this side right here. The clutch dog's going in it. So what we got to do to remove this is there is a zinc here that we got to replace some zincs, obviously, but we're not doing that today. To remove that zinc, there's access right here. Okay, and that's gonna grant us, once we take this off, it's like a 1/2 inch or 12 millimeter inside there, and then that'll remove the zinc. And then under the zinc, there's another bolt that will have to be removed. All right, we got to remove this prop off. This is actually a Mercury prop, and this is a Mercury engine, but this is a 4-stroke that Yamaha built for Mercury. So it's actually Yamaha, but the props on these are interchangeable between Yamaha and Mercury. The Merc retaining nut and washer here, there's just these tabs. You got to bend them up so you can remove this nut, remove the prop and the thrust washer. And then we are going to take these bolts off. We're taking the prop off because we need it on the new lower unit, but we got to remove these bolts. Should be a 14 millimeter, one there, and one there. And then on the other side, the exact same thing, 14 millimeter, one here, and one here. And then there'll be one under here once we remove this, which is, you got to remove the cap and the bolts in there. So anyway, let's get to this. All right, well, I looked in here and this end up, it's not a, so this bolt in here is actually a Allen head. It's a pretty substantial one. But anyway, it fits. But we're probably gonna have to put a wrench on it to bust it loose. So y'all, I put this Allen head in here and it's so tough I actually can't turn it with my hand. I got this giant adjustable that I pulled out for the prop, but I'm using it to turn this Allen head to get this zinc free here. So we're just going to work on that so we can remove the bolt below it. So I got the zinc off, and then under here you can see there's the, should be a 14 millimeter, and that's the one hidden bolt. Make sure you don't miss it. All right, and then back here in the back there's also another one there. So there's one there and one there. Make sure you remove these in addition to the 3 on each side of the lower unit. So what we're doing is we're going to bend these tabs up and remove this prop now. So if you see, I'm bending the tabs right here. So see the tabs we're pulling up? We're bending the tabs up so that we can remove this nut and remove the prop. Make sure they're all bent up, because that's what holds that nut on there and the prop on there. And then we are gonna, you can buy a nut that fits this thing or an adjustable. We are gonna pop it loose. There it is. Make sure you keep all these pieces together. You want them to go together when you're done putting it back. So don't lose all the pieces. This one has a removable hub. It will pop out of there. Make sure you put it back in. Do not lose it. It'll fall out. We also have the nuts and washers and the shaft where it splines up here. Make sure you don't lose your parts. Keep them all together. And then, like I said, see the removable hub comes out of this one. So make sure you put it up in there so it doesn't, you don't lose it. And then the thrust washer right here, make sure you take it off to put it on the new lower. Okay, so we're gonna do the 14 millimeter up in the lower here. Just remember, there's extra bolt up in here. You gotta make sure you take them out. There's one. You know, they got corrosion on them a little bit. You can always wire brush them, clean them up, and put a little grease on them when you put them back in, because these are in salt water all the time and you need to help them out. And here's the next one. All right, and then we're going to start the 3 on this side and the 3 on this side over here. Getting our tools in the salt water, so make sure you oil them up and wash them when you're done.
I thought you just bought new ones.
Or buy new ones. Whatever works for you. You might not want to use your best stuff.
Keep recording.
All right, y'all. So we're just gonna go ahead and remove this one, and then the same on the other side over here. And then we'll have this free, and you'll see me remove it. So, you know, we really can't get the ratchet in here, but we can get the wrench in here. So it is a 14 millimeter. A crossover for it will be a 9/16, but a 9/16 is a little loose, so you could round them off. So better off that you use your 14 millimeter, but you can't get a ratchet up in here really. So you got to make sure you grab yourself a wrench, and again, it's a 14 millimeter. Hey y'all, so I'm down to the last bolt here. Just removing it, and then we're gonna drop this lower unit and remove it and put the new one on. Just gotta get these out. A lot of times I'll leave this bolt in a little way, especially if I'm over, like I'm on land on a trailer, because I don't like the lower unit to fall off and fall on me or fall on the ground and break. But there it is. All right, so we got it loose. I'm just gonna finish taking out the bolt, holding it with my left hand here so it doesn't fall, although it doesn't really have anywhere to go here. It could if we were on a trailer or something. We don't want to drop it. We just want to be safe. We don't lose no toes. Don't lose no toes. I'll look at it when I get in there. All right, Mr. Bill's got the lower.
There you go.
We're gonna swap it out with the new one now. So y'all, we're just gonna line this up. We put a little grease on the spline, and we're gonna try to get it up in there. So put everything in so it goes in. Make sure you line your water pump and your shift shaft. It all splines up. So make sure your water pump lines up here. We got the shaft, and then back here we got the spline for the shift shaft that goes right in here. There's the shift shaft that's the shift rod, and the shifter spline, the drive shaft, and then the water pump. Make sure you line it up, and then this is for the exhaust right here. And I will get one bolt ready. Right on. So let's take our time.
The shift shaft goes in this right here.
Yes, sir.
Got a good.
Okay, hold on. Has that got the guide pin? Looks like it. So now that I got it lined up, I'm just putting one bolt in right here to hold it in place so it doesn't fall on us. And I'm gonna get that started. Hey, Bill. Kicking Bill's balls over here.
It's cold, okay? The water's cold.
All right, so we're just gonna tighten this up to hold the lower on there while we get everything else in. Pushed. There. Come on.
Looks like it's pretty good up front.
Yeah, all right, so we're just gonna do the exact opposite of what we did before and put it all back together.
Let's put a little bit of grease on. Let's leave it until we're ready. Ready?
The one that goes up in here is bigger than the rest of them, but we're gonna go ahead and we grease these up, and we're gonna start putting them on now and tighten them down. Make sure that they all thread up first before you go and tighten them down. All right, so there's a shorter bolt and a longer bolt that go up in here. The longer bolt goes under the zinc, the shorter bolt goes in front of the zinc. So you gotta put it up in there, line it up, always start them by hand. All right, that one's going. There's the longer boat, Mr. Bill.
Ready?
All right, there's the longer one. You see it's probably at least another inch bigger, if not more. This is the longer bolt. The longer bolt goes underneath the zinc, and then we got a bolt to put in from the top from the old zinc, so we can bolt the zinc up to the bottom. But if you keep your boat in the water, make sure you replace your zincs often. That one's pretty much done. We need to go ahead and get ourselves a new one, but we'll temporarily put it back on. Go ahead and snug them up and then go back and check them again. You don't want them to vibrate out while you're running the boat. All right, so y'all, I got everything bolted up now. I'm just going around and making sure it's all snug. And then we're gonna put the prop on. All right, we'll finish this up. We're gonna put this prop on and make sure we grease it up, and that's what we're gonna come back to. All right, so here is, it's actually an Allen head for the zinc. Make sure it's nice and cleaned up. You wanna make a good ground with the zinc here. So for electrolysis purposes, we're just gonna put the bolt out of the other lower into here. All right. Well, there we go. But make sure you replace your zincs. This one's in bad shape. So that'll be one of our next thing, is replacing zincs on engines, I guess. All right, y'all, so we're done. We got the zinc on. We're just gonna put the thrust washer on and put this prop on, and we're gonna go fishing. So make sure you got the correct thrust washer, because there are different thrust washers for the different style of props for the Yamaha Mercury. Make sure you have the correct thrust washer. All right, we got the thrust washer on. Okay, this has a removable, remember, so make sure you put that on there. Line it up, and then you'll make sure these splines line up on this one. Got our nut. Now, a standard Yamaha nut has a hole right there, and there's a cotter pin that goes through that hole right there. And this one is a Mercury one, so it works a little bit different. Make sure it's all on there good, and we're going to slide it down, and once we tighten it up, we're going to bend these tabs back down, and that is how theirs works to keep the nut in place and the prop secure. What we want to do on this one is push these tabs into these grooves. You get down there? So this one's got like 3 secure tabs. All right, y'all. Well, we're all finished up. We're gonna take this thing out for a ride and hopefully catch some fish. Stay tuned next time. Hey, we might be fixing your boat. You never know. We like to break shit, so hopefully we break ours and not yours. Good.